Da, da, da. Hello guys, welcome guys and girls to the live match commentary between Sunderland and Marseille with myself, MACKEM CABBIE. And straight away I want to thank Gordon Seymour for the team news, and we will be pinning that to the top. So this being our last friendly game before the season starts. And how will the lads do? Not much confidence really going on with the last performance away to Bradford. So can they raise the spirits of the Sunderland fans this incoming game against Marseille? No problem, Gordon Seymour. The team news today, Patterson, Hume, 09, Alessia, Sirkin, Neil, Brown, Job, Roberts, Clark, Mayenda. Subs is Moore, Hajeldi, Johnson, Rigg, Barr, Sheesh, Mundell, who played really good against Bradford City, and Rusin. Da, 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 da. So how are you guys all feeling today then? Do you think Sunderland will get a win today? Are you not really bothered about it? So we'll say on the poll, that's 57% so far of Sunderland fans say they're going to win. 29% say lose, and 14% say a draw. Oh dear me. A lovely weekend off, and once again it is lovely and sunny here. Nipping off for a few minutes before kick-off, no problem, Gordon. Lad. It's nice these sunny days and that, but it can be hard work in this conservatory because it's so bright. So once again, I'll go through the team news. Patterson, Hume, 09, Alessia, Sirkin, Neil, Brown, Job, Roberts, Clark and Mayenda. With subs, Moore, Hajeldi, Johnson, Rigg, Barr, Sheesh, Mundell and Rusin. Peter, hello, welcome on the chat from Guernsey. Going for a draw today. So here's the fans' reaction to the team news then. Chris says, unless we've stumbled on a top level coach, this team, he says, worries me. Just got to hope there's at least 4 signings to come in before the deadline. Just not enough decent options for a 46 game season. Huggins to come back, says Kenneth. A great football inside. When is Sealed back? Peter Richardson starting 11 for Cardiff game as well. Let's see how they get. Hello Dazers, welcome along on the chat. And he's got his thumbs down saying strikers yet. That's on everybody's mind at the moment. Absolutely everybody's mind.
Yeah, at Quinn's Sports Bar, and delighted to be able to bring you the final pre-season friendly before the real season hits next week. Alongside me as ever is Danny Collins. Danny, how are you doing?
Not too bad, yeah.
You've been holding the shop for us here while I've been away on pre-season myself.
That's right, you've been joking away on your holidays, and I've been here majority of the games. Obviously didn't cover the game on Tuesday night. Managed to watch it, obviously, but as you say there, looking at this one now, this is your final one building, ready for that first game of the season next week at Cardiff. Yeah,
so we're going to give you the team news in a second, but do you think a lot of thought has gone into that in terms of what Sunderland's first 11 might be on that first game of the season?
Yeah, I think if we're looking at it, and a lot of the people at home will see that, and there's no surprises really. You look at the game last week at Blackpool, and that I said then during comms, this is probably what you expect to be your first starting 11. Maybe one or two I'm looking at there. I think Chris Rigg has done well in some of the games. Obviously, he played against Bradford during the week. I think he'll be a little bit disappointed. Maybe he's not out there, but there's competition.
Richard Parker, hello mates.
I've got the shirt ready for next week, really, so if they go out and perform this afternoon.
Tim Stoker, hello mate, how are you doing? Hi, Norwich MACKEM here. Love the channel, thanks very much Tim. Can't wait for this season to start. Think that a win could give a positive attitude to the lads. Oh yeah, especially after the Bradford match.
Let's have a look then at the Sunderland side for the final pre-season friendly. Down at Valley Parade, quite a momentous day, especially for the Louis Dreyfus family. It's a memorial game for Robert Louis Dreyfus today. Well, this year marks 15 years since his passing, and the club are delighted to be going back down to Valley Parade, who are the hosts this afternoon for Sunderland versus Marseille. And that's the Sunderland side then, Danny, so we touched upon it. Could that be the starting 11? Well, it's a final chance for those people on the bench to claim that shirt as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
How are you doing? He says, shame we don't get to see Pavida play. I know, I don't know why. I really don't understand that one.
Of the season next weekend. And just looking at the shape, really, I think we have tinkered it slightly now and then in games, but generally I feel that's what we've gone with, that 4-3-3. Dan Neil, who I thought was excellent at Blackpool last week, just sitting in front of the back four. Alan Brown and Job getting forward, getting into the box when they can, and then out on the flanks I thought Patrick was pretty good as well, back to sort of what we know Patrick's about, getting on the ball, clever little reverse passes at times last week. He played his part in the goal as well, didn't he? And that man Mayenda, can we get him on the score sheet? He had an opportunity after 50 odd seconds last week. He'd be disappointed he didn't put it away, tried to do the keeper at his near post, a good save, but there's been moments for him where I think he's looked a handful. He's a big, strong boy. I've seen the social media yesterday where I think there was a bit of a question for the boys, who's the quickest over 100 metres, and several of the boys mentioned his name, pulled him out. So for me, I'm thinking, well, play him on the shoulder a little bit more. Don't make it comfortable for centre-backs coming towards the ball. Play on the shoulder, mix it up and put a few balls in behind. Let's see his pace. He's quite a strong boy, he can strike a ball, and he's got the opportunity at this moment in time, and I think the club will probably still be looking for another centre-forward, but at this moment in time, he's got to be feeling, well, listen, I didn't get too many opportunities last season. Rusin, if anything, was probably ahead of him in the pecking order, but while you're looking at it now, he's the one who's got the shirt, so he's got an opportunity now to go out there and put in a performance to carry on that next week.
Let's look back through at pre-season then so far. It feels a good opportunity to do so. You've seen the majority of the games here on SFC Live. The new players, have they impressed you? Alan Brown starting in midfield again this afternoon. Do you expect him to be a bit of a stalwart this season? He's obviously got over 400 appearances for Preston, so he's a very experienced player at this level, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, yeah. As you say there, captain Preston for the last 4 or 5 seasons, churning out 30 plus games every season as well, which obviously is a good sign, staying injury free. Just looking at him last week as well, especially in the first half, couple of occasions getting himself into the box. So yeah, we were perhaps saying, and a lot of the fans last year, we need maybe an experienced head if obviously Corey's parted ways, to come in and maybe sit as that centre midfield general really, but I'm not sure that's his game as well. I think he will sort of box to box, go and get forward, with Dan Neil being the out and out sitter really. go and allow him to go and get himself in the box and try and get himself on the score sheet.
What about the performances then? We've seen several games. We've been Alicante area.
You've been to Alicante.
I've been to Alicante, yeah, but I didn't actually get to commentate on the games, although I did watch the
All right, lads.
game.
Hello, Kev, tuning in from Moz. Hope you're well over Osmond. How's the weather over there?
Performances we've seen in pre-season.
And thanks for the subscriber.
Yeah, it was, I think, just obviously remembering that one now, we played several, haven't we? But yeah, I think Forest started quite well first 15 minutes, then we grew into the game, and Chris Rigg, I thought, singled out that night, got us on the front foot, sort of took the game by the scruff of the neck, driving us forward, and played his part that night. And yeah, it was a good run out for the boys, as you mentioned, good opposition. Forest, I think, changed their whole 11 at half-time as well. We carried on a little bit, made the changes later on. But it was a good
cheers
test
for the
boys.
subscriber. I've
You
now
know, in
got
general,
2,371 subscribers. Obviously, I've got a long way to go to catch some of the other Sunderland YouTubers have been here a lot longer than I have, but I'm getting there slowly. Thanks very much to everybody who has subscribed. Daisy says, worrying times for the club, still no strikes. Yeah, I know, it's just mad. I don't know what they're doing.
And then you can sort of start to see it pan out, as we've seen this week, where last Saturday, Blackpool, that looks like the starting 11, which you gauge off really. Then the other boys have had the opportunity, and then they haven't taken it really. You can look at the scoreline, but in general, I don't think too many come out of that game on Tuesday night against Bradford with too much praise really. Romain Mundle was the star man, got his goal, getting us up the pitch, driving runs. So yeah, so a lot of those boys, you know, they'll be looking at it as well. Generally, as you do as a player, you're sort of sussing it out. Well, I'm in that team, so it doesn't look like the gaffer fancies me. I'm not going to get the shirt first game of the season. So you can either sulk about it and, you know, down tools a little bit, or you can sort of puff your chest out and say, well, I'm going to go and show him training ground as well. When I'm getting an opportunity off the bench, whatever it may be, you've got to go out there and put in a shift to try and force his.
And I guess it's still early days, isn't it, for Regis Fabrice as well? Getting to know these players and not just know their skills on the pitch, but their characters as well. That goes a long way, doesn't it, in football? Yeah,
massive. Of course it does. Yeah, and as I say, just around the training pitch, off the training pitch as well. You know, they've been socialising out in Spain as well. And he's getting to know a little bit of a language barrier. Obviously, you know, he speaks English, but just the general sort of accents and stuff really, isn't there, around the place as well, with one or two of the boys as well. We've obviously got a good core of French boys in the squad, which helps. But yeah, he's always going to be learning, and on the flip side of that, the players are learning from his side of it as well. You know, the philosophy, the game plan, how does he want us to set up? I think you can see in a few of the games where we have gone and pressed teams quite high. Blackpool last week as well, and South Shields' first game, especially in that first half. I've said time and time again, South Shields trying to play out. We caught them on the ball and we punished them. But you're going to have to accept it, and you're looking at this today. It's a good test for the boys. Marseille, Roberto De Zerbi's gone in there. We all know about his Brighton side. Love to keep possession, even against some of the top boys in the Premier League. Boss possession, so it's going to be tough today, and we're going to have spells where we're not going to get the ball. We're going to have to be organised in our shape, and when we win it, we've got to look after it and try and hit them on the counter-attack.
Okay, Danny, we're going to take a quick break there then, and when we return, we're going to hear from the owner of Sunderland AFC, Mr. Kirill Louis Dreyfus.
I just turn the audio down there, because we don't want any music playing. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. So it doesn't seem to be what's getting mentioned about signings, etc. Everybody's just focusing on new signings. What year's that Hummel shirt from, mate? This one here, it's like it's a hoodie. I think it's about 1988 or something, I think. Hi, Cabby. Hello, Razzle Clark. Welcome. Kevin X got the blue one, but chuffing too big for me now. Well, I'm trying to lose weight, so hopefully this will be a bit more slacker. I've lost nearly a stone. Deirdre says I'm listening. I'm here listening to you at Witherspoon, Cricklewood, London. Hello to everybody at Witherspoons. If there's any Sunderland fans in there. Brilliant. Quite a tasty tie, this. Only 10 minutes away from kick-off. You what? Took you Hello guys, I'm back. I decided to take my daughter to the toilet, nature calls.
His sort of philosophy and the way he wants to play the game, really, regardless of whether he's coming up against a Man City or a Luton, really. Just wants to try and dominate the ball. Patterns of play and everything. I've seen some of his coaching sessions online, the way he's at it on the training ground as well. So yeah, I was surprised, if I'm honest, that, as you said there, one or two of the big sides in the Premier League who were looking for, obviously, new managers, didn't have a look at taking him, and maybe England as well.
Yeah, good points there. Have you got any speculation of who could be the next England manager?
Who I'd take, really?
Yeah.
Obviously,
what did you make of the Welsh appointment, by the way?
Yeah, I know.
Well, SJ, hopefully you pull off a shot to put that negative crap behind us.
He's a fiery character off the pitch.
In the city
He's one of the
centre
best
last
trainers
night.
when he's out there. He wants to do things right and everything. So I can
They're not
see
Sunderland fans, are they?
They're just capable of a blow up in the changing rooms.
Teens and chavs
So it's going to be an interesting one. We'll see how he goes. And obviously they're going through
attacking
a
the bloody
transitional
club shop
period
as well.
The Welsh setup. Obviously the likes
what's
of
all that
Bale,
about?
Ramsey, Joe Allen, these types of players.
Smashing the window and all that. I mean, we're trying to get the club on properly on the feet and improve things.
Young sort of crop coming through now. Obviously missed out on the Euros, but they've got to kick on, so that's going to be interesting.
And Sunderland, of course, have got a new manager first in
for life
coach
if they find out
themselves,
who it is.
Brice.
Yeah.
What have you noticed about his style or approach to the games? Obviously, it's sometimes hard to read in pre-season, isn't it? Because he wants to see a lot of the squad, doesn't he? He just wants to see them out there playing. But have you seen any kind of philosophy there from his style of play?
Well, I think the important one, or the key one, was then when you see him when he was mic'd up for that coaching session. I think it was over in Spain when they'd done it, really. And
so how will Sunderland do today?
High tempo. We want them to move the ball
so
quicker, to press quicker. And I think if you look where we were last season, was it 26 games in, so we were 6 or 7, and then we fell off it massively, finished 16th.
KLD
and we had a lot of ball. I think it was similar to me watching England in the Euros, where you have a lot of ball, but you're not really doing a lot with it. It's all pedestrian, not really playing forward, keeping the ball, and then, obviously, if you're not scoring goals or creating opportunities, you're going to come up short. And that was the case for us in a lot of games last season. So he's going to have to try and address it in terms of personnel. Obviously, you're looking at where we need to strengthen. Well, he's brought Alan Brown in the middle of the park. Still think, obviously, we need 1, maybe 2 centre forwards. Other departments were not too bad. You want Dan Ballard back as quick as you can get him back fit. To strengthen us, obviously, as our main man at centre-back, really. But yeah, and then it's obviously trying to get his sort of ideas from the training ground and taking it into games then, and seeing those ideas. And 1 or 2 of the games so far, yes, I would say I've seen an improvement where we are looking to go and press teams. But you've got to respect the opposition and take into account who you're up against as well. He'll look at it in the Championship, for instance. I've mentioned Leeds, who play at high tempo. They want you to come and press them to try and play through them. Where you look at when we went there last season, we sort of sat off them a little bit under Mike Dodds, didn't we? Frustrated them a lot of the time, and I think we won 1-0 that night, didn't we? So yeah, you have to assess who you're up against, but at the same time, at the Stadium of Light, our fans, 40,000 in the stadium, aren't going to want to see us sitting off opposition. They want us to go and first whistle, first 10 minutes, be at it on the front foot, aggressive, creating opportunities, gets the fans on side as well early on.
Yeah, and I guess the recruitment of someone like Jan Previda as well, that would excite fans. The glimpses I've seen of him over his career over in the UK is that he's an aggressive, attacking kind of player, something that Regis Brice could draw upon, of course, during a game.
Well, it's interesting with him coming in.
SJ, hopefully they do get the live bands. SCFC fans should be smashing up there. Shouldn't be smashing up there
for Sheffield Wednesday, but I've seen him a few times.
Hope Mundell gets a chance today as well.
To Patrick Roberts,
he was the only good player against Bradford. He was.
To make his.
But no,
well,
I've heard reports as well that
wants to dribble, cut inside.
Most of them weren't even from Sunderland yesterday.
Patrick's going to have good competition out there.
And then Patrick would want to kick on from last season as well.
Yeah.
He would say himself he had a disappointing season.
Yeah, well, he did. Yeah, I think he's got a goal in pre-season so far. South Shields wasn't it first game, assist last week, but he needs more numbers. He had 1 or 2
either
last
way,
year. But Patrick's better than what he showed.
Like
his levels, he should be getting up by double figures, really. Goals and assists. So he's got work to do, and there's pressure on him now for that position. You look at it last season when he was in and out. Abdullah Barth sort of filled in out there. I think Romain Mundell had 1 or 2 run-outs out there. But if you're looking at our sort of wing positions at this moment, you've got Jack and probably Romain Mundell for that left-hand side. Yeah. Both prefer to play there coming in on the right foot, and then on the opposite side you've got Patrick and Previda coming in left-footed, want to come in from that side. So those that sort of your competition for places, and it's what you need throughout the squad for the course of the season.
In terms of the intensity of today's game as well, Danny, do you think it's good that they're leaving the pre-season section of the summer on such a high with a strong opposition as well going into the first game?
Yeah, it's how you generally want to build
So
it,
how's
really.
the
Sort of
close
start with so-called
season
lesser
been for
opposition and
everybody
work your
then?
way
Has
in.
it
I know
dragged on?
obviously we
Has
had
it gone
Forest in the sort of
quick?
second or third
Or
game of that, and then we've had
has
a
it gone
couple
quick
of
because there's
League
been
One
plenty of
opposition
sport
early, haven't
to
we?
keep
League Two as
everybody
well,
active?
Bradford.
In the mind, if you're
But yeah,
missing the
this is the
football,
sort of
of
big
course,
one now,
with
isn't
the
it? Because look,
Euros
we've got 6 games in August starting
and the
today.
Olympics,
We've got
of
number
course, is
5
still
coming,
on.
obviously Cardiff. Then it's a quick turnaround. You've got Preston, I think, in the cup, haven't we? The League Cup, and then you've got games thick
Only
and
a
fast
couple
coming.
of minutes
So
away
we've
now.
got to need that
Kick off.
squad. You know, you've done the sort of the
Got nearly
groundwork
50
really,
people already
the hard
tuning in.
yards in pre-season.
You're very
A lot
much
of games, as I
welcome
mentioned, there, I think it's a
everyone.
good thing when you've got 6-7 games.
Don't
Really,
forget
so
subscribe to
game
the
time.
channel if you're new.
So the lads,
it really,
yeah,
really
they're not going
helps
to be at max
massively.
sort of
Thank you
fitness
very
levels
much.
as of
Indeed,
yet,
you do,
but you know,
do,
you're
do.
training in the heat, good numbers into your body, and then you're ready to go. So they can't be sort of easing their way through this one today. The lads will know there's some good opposition in terms of personnel. You know, Højbjerg there, Spurs the last few years, obviously Southampton, 1 or 2 they've been bringing into the squad as well, strengthening. So it's going to be a good test today. And as I said there, we're going to have to be patient at times because they'll want us to come and press them high, and they'll fancy themselves to pop and play through us. So when we sit off the mid-block or even a low block, when we win it, when Dan Neil gets on it and the midfielders around him, got to secure it. Mayenda's got to be a big presence up there, get hold of it, get us up the pitch, and can we create 1 or 2 problems on the counter-attack?
Yeah, absolutely. Just generally speaking as well, Danny, about the pre-season
Kevin Taylor, hi, Carrie, watching
and
you
the
and
amount of games
Olympics at
and
the
the
same
variety
time.
of the games
Course,
as
men
well.
can
Do you think
multitask,
Regis Labrie would
absolutely.
like more games, less games, or as a manager coming into a side,
Yeah.
do you think he's seen enough of his players to get to know them a bit?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much he said in terms of organising the fixtures, or as he said, you know, I want 6 or 7 games so I get a good look at the squad, which is probably, as I said there, because you know, you can watch the boys as much as you want on the training ground, but then it's taking his ideas forward into a match situation. You can do 11v11 with the squad behind closed doors, but you want good test against various opposition, like we've seen. Obviously, El Dente completely different to Nottingham Forest, Bradford, who I thought were actually decent at times. They played some good football on Tuesday night as well. To Blackpool, who sat really deep, made it difficult. They had a good 20 minutes after half-time where they should have capitalised, and their finishing wasn't great, to be honest, but it was a good spell for us. We came through that with a clean sheet, got the late goal. But today, yeah, I know fans will say it's not all about a scoreline as well, but it's good habits and it takes confidence. You know, if we come out with it today with a good performance, and if we do get a victory, then it breeds confidence moving forward for next Saturday. And then obviously the lads have now got a full week's training before that game next week at Cardiff.
Okay, we're just hearing that we're having a few problems with the feed down from Valley Parade, but we'll bring you the game as soon as we can, and myself and Danny will jump into our commentary positions.
No Bellingham, eh?
Yeah, we'll give you the full
No
kind of update
Joe
as we get it
Bellingham.
in my ear here on SFC Live. In the meantime, Danny, we can fill by looking at the transfer market as a whole, I guess. Do you think it's been quite slow, generally speaking? We haven't seen any massive moves in the Prem and then down to the Championship, because often it's a domino effect, isn't it, throughout Europe?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? As you say, the lads obviously played in the Euros, so they'll get a couple of weeks away extra compared to the rest of the boys. And then, as you say, once teams now, they're going all over Asia, you know, the States, wherever they go, take a lot of the younger lads who are pushing to try and get them, make their way into the first team squads at some of the Premier League teams. But then obviously when those boys come back, the regular first team starters, then it filters down, as you said, then the clubs will assess, then you can go out on loan. So yeah, they'll be weighing it up, and I'm sure, as you said, the fans will look at it though, and they will be thinking, you know, yes, we've added 1 or 2 into the squad, a couple of goalkeepers have come in as well, but top end of the pitch, we've seen that last season, we didn't score, well, we scored 3 goals from centre forwards, not enough, so we need to add at the top end of the pitch as well to strengthen.
Okay, Danny, I've just heard that we have managed to regain the feed from Valley Parade, so what we'll do is now we'll go straight there, where there is currently a minute's applause for the passing in memory of Robert Louis Dreyfus. So we're going to go to the game now. You see both the teams there giving a round of applause there.
Gary Hoy, last night's incident in the city centre does not deserve to be highlighted. Just a bunch of morons. Absolutely just a bunch of morons. You're not wrong there. You're definitely not wrong there at all. We're just waiting for the stream to come up here.
So
Yeah.
I think Sunderland FC are having problems again, which they always seem to be doing.
Myself and Danny are in our commentary position.
And here we go.
Back here at the Stadium of Light. The lads are in action down at Valley Parade, the final pre-season friendly for the season starts for real against Cardiff next week. There's always a little bit more intensity in the final pre-season game, Danny, compared to the early ones.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Well, we've seen it, obviously the lads have been away in that heat, as you said, out in Spain, and it's still fairly warm back here, isn't it, mid-20s, this moment in time. But it's a good run out, and the lads know that now. You sort of sense it, you're getting there, you put the hard yards in, as I just said there, you know, all the running, and then your early pre-season games, and now this is it now. So obviously they've started up in Scotland already, haven't they? And
yeah,
well, we're what, a week today, we'll be rolling out at Cardiff, ready to go.
Sunderland moving it forward. Mayenda.
Good tackle.
He just brings it back for a foul.
Yeah, it's good there. I think it's Dan Neil, wasn't it, stepping in again. He'd done it a couple of times last week. He started for the goal at Blackpool as well. Read the situation, nipped in front of
a lot of
his man.
Sunderland fans behind the goal this time,
which led to the goal at Blackpool. You see him again. You know, it's just a Rolls Royce in there for me, Dan Neil. Yes, he's taken away from his game slightly by playing him deeper, but he's comfortable in that role if you ask him to play it in front of the two centre-backs.
Ruben Blanco in goal for Marseille. Possession there, but Marseille come away with the ball. Anthony Patterson is there to collect.
A chance in the counter-attack there, wasn't it? Ball up to Mbagna, big centre forward, getting hold of it for Marseille. I think there was a bit of concern about Adji Elise last week, wasn't it? Come off at half-time, but nothing too serious for him. And I think on that left side, you worry.
I think Bellingham's getting sold.
In the treatment
I
room
don't know, Kevin,
to
be honest with you, mate. I'm not too sure where there's rumours that he is.
Pre-season and remain fit and have a good campaign.
It must be frustrating for a footballer if you do sustain an injury in pre-season. Yeah, Ekwa suffered a back injury, didn't he?
Yeah, Pierre, isn't it? Obviously, Dan Ballard's the big one, isn't it? First half, wasn't it, against South Shields, and 6 weeks or so out. And that was a concern for me, and I've mentioned it a couple of times so far in pre-season with those unset pieces and how big and important Dan Ballard is for us in general.
Sunderland coming forward here, though. Brown just looking for the forward ball, trying to play in Patrick Roberts.
Yeah, chance on the counter for that, wasn't it? Just didn't get the pass right there, Alan Brown. But yeah, good
example of Alan Brown.
It was, yeah, forward, energy in their pockets, and you can see the setup, and it is, you know, generally a 4-3-3. You can see the triangle in the middle of the park. Yes, they will rotate, but in general, Dan will be sitting Dan Neil with Brown and Jobe ahead of him.
Joyberg.
See the setup, typical De Zerbi, isn't it? Centre-back splitting deep in the 6-yard box, and the midfielders dropping to try and get on it, but Sunderland pressing them high. Yeah. Yes, 2 or 3 times already they've managed to steal it off Marseille.
Good Nyan. Forward ball looking for Mayenda. Almost got on the end of it.
Yeah, just a little bit nice there. I think, you know, he's quick and he's strong. Just use his weight, lean into the centre back there, who I think misreads the flight of it, gets under it a little bit. He could have just lent into him, muscled him out of it a little bit.
Forward ball goes to the right-hand side. Good attack there from Marseille.
As it's won back by Sunderland, out to Roberts on the right wing, into the Marseille half. Hume goes forwards, Roberts cuts back into the centre, leaves it for Neil in the centre circle, and Sirkin on the left. Clark wide, back again to Elise, tapped onto Neil, and Neil on the centre spot swings it out to Brown on the far side. Looks for Roberts, just keeps it in, doesn't in the end. It rolls off him and away for a throw to Marseille. The lower bank of the stand away to our left, pretty full. Sunderland fans, this main stand well peopled as well. It's a good turnout by Sunderland fans. It's technically a home game for them, as the ball played up towards Mumbanya and then one back, but a foul by Job on Højbjerg in the Marseille half. Free kick taken. Brassier plays it to Bellerdi at the back, again into midfield, Højbjerg, and then just roll it about, stroke it about at the back before trying to get it away down the left wing.
Have a look on
where
and see if there's any.
Here Luis Enrique playing wide, loses it, tackled by Roberts into Job. Job at the edge of the area. It's a weak shot in the end with his left foot, easily gathered by Blanco, just going down on his knees. Opened up a bit there for him though.
Yeah. Good tackle by Hume, winning it high up.
18 yards out. You felt that he probably had more time to.
He didn't catch it right.
Didn't catch it quite right. So 0-0 still here at Valley Parade, live on BBC Radio Newcastle, as Roberts in again on his left, over the bar. He's looking for the corner, but the goal kick's being given. Both Job and Roberts trying to attract the assistant's attention, but a goal kick it is what's been awarded. Bellerdi has the ball at the moment, gives it to Blanco,
and they'll give you a chance, won't they? Because you know what type of football he wants to play. When it's really, really tight, they'll still try to play out.
The two centre-backs on either side of the 6-yard box. It's left to Brassier to tap back to Blanco. He drives it up through the middle. It'll be Sirkin who heads it away from Amir Murillo. It drops back for Mighty into the middle again, where Mumbanya plays it back and out for a throw to Marseille. Roberto De Zerbi in his black t-shirt, Marseille t-shirt.
Welcome,
Regis Lebris is still in his sweatshirt top. A few instructions bellowed from the touchline. Comes back, Mighty up to Mumbanya. He's got Brown on his shoulder, but strong the Cameroonian strong, and he's got the ball out to Enrique on the left of the penalty area. Trying to dribble in and teared up for. Oh, it skimmed the roof of the net from Kondogbia. Maybe 16, 17 yards out in the penalty area. Put his left foot through it, but it just sort of skimmed the bar and
good build-up play. But they've got a presence up front, haven't they, really?
Move the ball around quite nicely. Goal kick from Patterson in green. Right over the head of Mayenda and through to Blanco at the edge of his penalty area. Both the centre-backs either side of him. It's rolled to Brassier, once of Rennes. Back to Bellerdi, who was signed from Borussia Dortmund in 2021, but he'd had a season loan here before joining permanently for Marseille. Back to Blanco. Again, another one who had a loan from Celta. It's played out from the back, even with Sunderland pressing, and they foul Harritt on the halfway line.
They take chances, don't they? But if they do get out,
Sunderland have committed 4 or 5 players. Out to Brassier on the left, just short of the halfway line. Back to Bellerdi, then forwards in the middle to Kondogbia. Sunderland pressing, get it back. Clark is fouled in the centre circle by Harritt Free kick to Sunderland, which is going to be left to Dan Neil to take. Rolls it to O'Nien. Out to Hume. Hume gets it back again from Roberts up to Mayenda at the edge of the area. Lays it off to Roberts. He took his eye off for a second. He's recovered it on the touchline. Tries to find Joe. Now that looked to me questionably like. Well, would that have been a free kick in midfield? And Job's got up, in fairness, and not made a big meal of it. It was a body check at the very least on Job in the penalty area, but it's come back up to halfway. Hume back to O'Nien. Now Elise. Clark on the left, just short of the halfway line. Job inside. He's got Kondogbia all over him, but it's played back to Patterson, who just taps it out to Job, quickly to O'Nien, and O'Nien's trying to get Hume away down the right wing, and he drives us up for, it must be an offside, Brown. Yeah, good run. Flag up. 11.5 minutes nearly into the game.
What we've seen already, Nick, is that it's a good footballing game.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's played at a good tempo.
As I said beforehand, it's a good test for Sunderland. They needed something going into the season that gives them a bit more of a challenge. The Marseille fans that are here, there's probably about 20 of them behind to the left of the Marseille dugout, all interlinked and jumping up and down and singing Marseille songs below us as the ball bounces to O'Nien, who smashes it away, and Mumbanya runs into him. Ball out for a throw to Sunderland on this right hand side.
Well done.
I didn't hear that. What was that all about? Away comes Murillo on the right wing for Marseille, on the right side of the Sunderland penalty area. Played back to Mighty out wide again to Murillo. He swings a ball into the penalty area. Hume deals with it. It's dropped though to Højbjerg, who's got it through again the edge of the area to Harrit, picked up by Enrique. A little dink ball chipped into the penalty area, but it will fall to Clark on the left, the angle. He knocks it out, and across comes Bellerdi. Job's looking for the throw, came off the Argentinian, and a throw to Sunderland inside their own half, which Sirkin will take. 13 minutes played, 0-0. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Total Sport is back with us on Monday nights, 2 hours, 6 until 8. Monday to Friday now for the season. As Patterson strolls out with the ball into the D and taps it here to Elise. Elise out to Sirkin, down the touchline to Clark, back inside. It's a bit loose, picked up by Harrit and played back to Merlin on the halfway line, inside the yard or so to Højbjerg, and he taps it then to Kondogbia. The Dane gets it back again, and he will just tap it to Bellerdi, back again to Højbjerg, and then to Mighty on the right of the centre circle, out to Murillo. Back again from the touchline to Mighty, Bellerdi in the centre circle, and he taps it again to Bamo Mighty, who was signed from Lorient in the summer, having again another of those spent alone here at Marseille for a season. I say here at Marseille and at Marseille. And Enrique gets an advantage from the referee down the left side of the Sunderland penalty area, plays it back to Pierre Højbjerg, and he plays it back into the centre circle again. Swung back out wide to Enrique on the left hand side. Hume goes with him, slipped through to Merlin on the left of the penalty area. Brown trying to tackle him, and the ball eventually played in underneath the bar, and Patterson catches it, with Murillo lurking. 0-0, 15 minutes played. Sunderland seeing as much of the ball as Marseille. We thought that might be the other way around, but
got to say.
Here's Højbjerg, heads it down to Harrit in the D. He's going to shoot. and it's gone wide at the foot of the left post. Patterson goes down, but he had it covered.
He's got to do better than that, Patterson. His clearance got charged down there. Got to make sure.
Elise puts hands on the ball on the 6-yard line, taps it to Patterson, and it's a great kick up to Hume on the right wing, just on halfway. Tapped it to Brown, back to Hume, now Neil again to Hume, back to O'Nien, Elise, Sirkin, long ball up towards Balerdi cuts it out. Joe blocks as Balerdi tried to swing it down the right wing, and it's a throw to Marseille on their right hand side, just down from their clutch of fans into Harrett. He weaves away from Neil, who clips him. Free kick. The referee calls Dan Neil back to him, wants a word. Dan Neil in conversation with the man in black, because we don't know his name. Now you're telling me that Balerdi is 20
and Brazier is 5.
I think it's the other way around, because Balerdi's Argentinian, Brassier's French.
Okay.
So I think Brassier is the 20,
right,
and Balerdi's 5.
Okay. I'm just going off your book.
That's their squad numbers. I mean, ultimately, Benno, in the wider scheme of things, it's not relevant.
No.
You can call them who you like. You can call them what you like. But in the interests of accuracy, here's Joe through to Roberts, leaves it now for Hume. He's tripped.
Free kick. Well done, good feet.
He was past Scheuberg, who just left his foot in. 24 yards out, and free kick to Sunderland, a good position. Hume's hobbled away from that, but I'm sure he's fine. The free kick will be taken, I'm assuming Roberts. Will he want to pop? Brown is on his shoulder, but I think Patrick Roberts.
Yeah, left foot, Roberts.
Marseille lining up on the 18-yard line. The spray has been applied by the referee there. In theory, 28 yards out, this free kick, if the referee has measured out the 10 yards accurately. Roberts and Brown step back off the ball. Roberts surely poised to take this with his left and towards the top corner, top right corner, just over. A bit more accuracy and that would have crept in.
Not too far away. Good effort by Patrick Roberts.
Still 0-0, 19th minute.
And we all know, especially at championship level, how important it is set pieces.
I think, I mean, you can put me right, I think in the championship as well, the pace may be a little bit more frenetic.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is pedestrian, it's not, but it's certainly not up to the pace I think we would expect to see at Cardiff next weekend. Here's Jobe inside to Dan Neil in the centre circle. Neil looking for options, finds Hume to his right, back to O'Nien, cross to Elise here, and Elise to Sirkin. Sirkin down the line, it's bounced out. Clark was just in front of him, but there was nobody really there as a target for Sirkin. Throw taken by Mighty, Ivory Coast, right back, and back to Blanco, Spanish goalkeeper. Then played by Kondogbia, out to Mighty, into Harrett. He's tackled by Neil, it breaks for Clark. Clark now trying to tee up Brown, but it's swept past him, comes to Hume, drives it over the bar from 20 yards. Again, you're right about them. There's mistakes in them at the back. They will give the ball away.
They give you opportunities, and it's good that Sunderland are pressing high up. That's what we want to see, pressing high up. And at times last season, at times we allowed teams to, shall we say, play their way out under no pressure at all.
More evidence of that not happening now here this afternoon. Marseille 0, Sunderland 0, 21st minute, live on BBC Radio Newcastle.
And they're playing out there in the 18-yard box.
I mean, there's how many players? There's 4 defenders and 4 Sunderland players in and around the 18-yard box for that ball played out by Marseille. On halfway, Marseille in possession. Harrott trying to break through. Job attempts to tackle him. Clark does. No foul. He looks at the referee, the Moroccan, but Clark's played it through for Mayenda now. Flag stays down, left edge of the penalty area. That's surely a corner.
Well done, Jack Clark. Well done, Mayenda.
First corner of the match falls to Sunderland.
Set piece.
Roberts is going to take this on the left. Hume back on the edge of the centre circle. Short corner to Clark. Comes back now to Dan Neil, left of midfield. Tried to clip one over the top of Mumbagna. It's come back to Hume, who lifts it up into the area. Foul by Brown on Mighty. Free kick to Olympique de Marseille. Marseille, 8th in League One last season, Liga 1. Last season, 11 titles. The last of them I mentioned earlier in 2010. But semi-finalists twice, runners-up 2021, 2020. Semi-finalists, Europa League. So they've got, at the moment, they're in a bit of a transition, aren't they? Here's Mighty.
Well done, Jack Clark.
Clark wins it. Closed down immediately by Kondogbia, but breaks for Job. He rides a couple of challenges, tries to thread it through the middle, but it's between Brown and Mayenda, and we'll go back to Blanco in goal for Marseille. Well appointed stadium here, of course. You look back towards the city centre of Bradford.
This is what they do. You know, they've squeezed right onto the 18-yard box, but they've tried to leave 1v1, don't they?
They've left Murillo up against Sirkin. Ball's gone back out again behind for a goal kick to Marseille. Their pre-season, they lost, I say at home, they've been playing, I think, at their training ground, their friendlies. They lost to Nîmes 2-0, but they beat Toulon 3-0, and last week they beat Pau 3-0. So they've got goals in them. The ball's swept up by Blanco. Here's Harrott. Back to Mighty, inside then to Kondogbia. Back to Mighty on this right-hand side for Marseille. They're trying to work it through Merlin, who's come across from the left to the right. Plays it to Højbjerg in the centre. He's brought it up to the halfway line, lays it off to Brassier, and he will play it back to Højbjerg, and forwards to Merlin, back to Højbjerg, and back again to Bellardi. Leonardo Bellardi. Mayenda went to close him down. Brassier again, forwards to Quentin Merlin, cut out by Hume. Merlin wins it back though, and Enrique's trying to get forwards with it, but Brown nods the ball down to O'Nien, who plays it back to Patterson. 0-0. 24th minute. Here's Elise. Pushes it out to Job. Job always giving the ball away here to Enrique at the edge of the penalty area. Into the box he goes. He's closed down by O'Nien.
Well done.
And O'Nien's managed to force him away. The cross is played in and headed away by Sirkin. And then Højbjerg plays it through Merlin back to Bellardi, who's just driven it out behind for a goal kick from the centre circle.
Excellent defending by Luke O'Nien.
Could have been costly, the mistake by Job.
These things happen, Nick, and what you're looking for is a reaction.
Well, do you know, it's exactly the same position that Johnson gave the ball away on Tuesday night and Cook scored for Bradford City.
It happens. It's what you do afterwards, you know, reacting. Being a bad pass, what are you going to do about it?
Sirkin down the left to Clark, back to Sirkin, back again to Elise in the penalty area on the left. He drives it up to halfway. It's over the outstretched foot of Job. It will drop for Bellardi wide, and he will play it back to goalkeeper Ruben Blanco. Blanco, again, Sunderland have got bodies up around the penalty area, but he plays it over the top up to halfway, bounces through, and O'Nien heads it away from Faris Mumbanya, who is lurking at the front of the centre circle. Back to Patterson, out to Hume, cross to Elise, and Elise just bringing this out and looking for Job. He's dropped back into his own half, leaves it for Neil. Neil in the centre circle, out wide right to Patrick Roberts. Roberts with Hume and O'Nien. O'Nien is the runner now. Hume's dropped back. Job at the edge of the D. It's with Sirkin. Sirkin out wide to Clark. Clark, corner of the penalty area, on his right, trying to go across the back of the box. Looks for Roberts, leaves it for O'Nien. O'Nien back to Neil, back again to Hume. Too many Marseille shirts in front of them. And Hume eventually back to Patterson. Patterson in the middle of the Sunderland half. To Elise. Elise to Clark. Back to Neil. One back by Højbjerg, and then through to Harriet and Murillo, looking for Mumbanya, who scores. Just a couple of yards left of the penalty spot, onto his left foot, and Faris Mumbanya in the 27th minute gives Marseille the lead.
Yeah, and what they've been able to do, they've won the ball in the middle by getting Dan Neil, getting the ball, didn't know what was around him, nicked the ball, and there was a way. Good finish.
So 1-0 Marseille lead.
He was just unmarked in the back there. I can't show you the replay.
The 28th minute now. Ball into the bottom right hand corner.
Low ball into the box. It was totally unmarked.
It's that split second, and it's something out of nothing.
That's right. And again, they've won the ball high up, Marseille.
Ball in the box.
And they were allowed to counter attack.
He's got all the time in the world.
So now Sunderland have to come from behind. The ball played by Brown, out to Roberts on the right hand side. You can hear the Marseille fans in good voice bobbing up and down, singing along down below at the edge of the dugout, as Mighty goes to bring this out from the back for the French team. He corrected himself.
Mumbanya.
Mumbanya, Faris Mumbanya, the Cameroon international, 8 caps, signed from Norway actually, Bodo Glimt in the summer. On the score sheet, Marseille 1, Sunderland 0. 29th minute, live on BBC Radio Newcastle. And the ball now with Merlin, plays it back to Mighty, and he just holds it for a second. Merlin again is drifted across from the left back position onto the right side of midfield. Shock of dyed blonde hair, he's drifted back again to the left. Back to Bellardi, now Mighty, through the middle, Højbjerg, and then Harriet gets the ball down to Brassier on the left hand side. And Brassier gets it back again from Kondogbia, back to Bellardi, who's going to drill this down the right looking for Murillo, and he takes it on his chest and is trying to work it away from Sirkin, who's sticking with him. Murillo, like Bellardi's got his right hand heavily strapped, the wrist. As Bellardi on halfway now in the centre circle for Marseille, who hold that 1-0 lead. Out to Murillo, Højbjerg again, tumbles down, the challenge from Job, nothing from the referee. Back to Mighty on this right hand side, and back again to Bellardi. Nearly half an hour played, Marseille lead 1-0 as Højbjerg gets the ball back to Blanco. It's played out to the edge of the penalty area. Brassier on the left, down the line. Enrique trying to get it inside, winning the free kick. Foul by Hume. He appealed immediately. He played the ball inside, and the referee's given the free kick. Brassier will take it, throws the ball forwards a few yards. Mienda's trying to tap it back again. Højbjerg is going to take the free kick.
For their goal, to be honest with you.
The 28-year-old now. £15 million he cost Southampton back in 2016.
Black curtain or something.
£2 million
over the top of this
added to his value, seemingly, in the intervening
and when it's bright and
8
sunny,
years.
I can hardly see the game.
Here now is
Try and show you certain highlights.
Mighty back to Beleri. Højbjerg gets the ball back again, trying to play it down the right for Murillo, but headed away by Sirkin. Hume cuts into the centre and puts his right foot through it over the halfway line, bounces back to the Argentinian Beleri, who balletically, almost a donkey kick, kicks the ball away down the right, and then a foul by Murillo on Sirkin right in front of Regis Lebris. Was it the other way around?
And you can see that Marseille, they're all clever, all brave on the ball, aren't they? Like it in tight situations, got good movement off the ball.
Yeah, very happy on the ball, aren't they? In tight
don't worry
situations. Here's
don't
Mighty.
Panic, do they?
No.
It's great to have Ben on.
They just feel I think they can win it back, play it out. Here's Murillo inside to Harrit. Job all over him, but Harrit just holds him off, gets it out to Murillo and plays it back to Mighty. Inside again then to Kondogbia, who plays it out wide on the left to Enrique, chests it through to Merlin, and Merlin brings it down in front of Hume, slips it back inside the Brazilian, and Merlin and Enrique combining, and eventually Harrit in the middle. Harrit leaves it for Mighty, and Roberto De Zerbi appears to be calling to his players to play it back to the goalkeeper, but they played it wide to Murillo, and Murillo back to Mighty, and Mighty back to Beleri, and eventually back to Blanco.
They've got a little bit of swagger about them now, Marseille, aren't they?
Well, they're a goal up, and
yeah.
they've got that little bit of breathing space, and here they come again down the right with Mighty to Amir Murillo, and he plays it back again to Mighty. Beleri at the edge of the penalty area. Mienda tries to stick a foot in, but it'll roll back to the goalkeeper, and he just taps it out to the edge of his area, plays it out through the middle straight to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien leaves it for Job. Job then to Brown. Brown to Roberts. Roberts looking for Brown down the right of the penalty area. Low ball played to the edge of the 6-yard box. Højbjerg clears it out to the edge of the area. Enrique sweeps it away, and Sirkin will pick this up on the touchline for a throw. Back to Elise, just inside the Marseille half. Rolls it to O'Nien, looking for Hume. He just drove it a little bit too hard past Roberts, and it's back with Beleri, and he taps it back to Blanco. Happy enough with Mienda lurking. Out to the left touchline, Hume heads it out into the empty seats. Sun-bleached yellow seats on the far side. There are a few new bright orange seats interspersed amongst the seats that have been drained of all colour. Away to our right in the two-tiered little stand, the brand new seats there, bright orange, stand out like a sore thumb. As Merlin looking to work the ball inside at the edge of his own area. Out comes, I think it's Kondogbia, plays it back to Beleri. Again out to Kondogbia, back to the goalkeeper, who will look up and lift it up towards the halfway line, looking for the goal scorer Mumbanya, but it's won back by Sunderland. There's Dan Neil. Neil to Sirkin. Sirkin out wide to Clark. Clark back to Sirkin. And back again to Elise. Across to O'Nien. Forwards to Roberts. And from halfway on the right touchline, all the way back to O'Nien, back to Patterson. Patterson passing it out quickly to Dan Neil. Neil to O'Nien, down the right to Roberts. Roberts, he's still back in his own half. Merlin's gone with him, pushing him back. Picked up by O'Nien. It was a One or two Bradford City fans I've seen here, just wandering up the steps. As Clark picks us up on the left wing, dribbling at the penalty area, is going to pull it back for Sirkin. Closed down by Kondogbia, back out to Clark on the left-hand side, tackled by Mighty. Keeps it in, Jack Clark, and plays it back to Elise on the halfway line, left to the centre circle, to O'Nien to the right, wide to Roberts. Roberts inside to Brown. Brown, little clip through to Hume, dragged his shot. I mean, he's won a corner from that, but I don't think initially that was what he's intending. I think he wanted a bit more height on the ball, but he didn't quite get his foot through it. It's a second corner for Sunderland, though, this time from the right-hand side. We're in the 36th minute, Marseille leading 1-0. Roberts will take this from the right. It's very verdant in between the two stands, and the floodlight pylon taken short, swept in. Job's head underneath it, hanging in the air. Blanco catches it. Mayenda's on his shoulder, but it was goalkeepers all the way. Still 1-0 to Marseille. Roberta De Zerbi, a few words with whoever's behind the dugout. 45-year-old Italian who joined Brighton from Shakhtar Donetsk.
So this is what they want to do, leave 2 against 2.
To Murillo and Enrique up against Sirkin and O'Nien. They've played a long ball up towards them, and O'Nien heads it back to Patterson. Catches it with one hand in his short-sleeved green goalkeeping jersey, rolls it out to Elise, and he's tapped it out to Sirkin. Sirkin now back to Elise, who will bring this out into central midfield and taps it away to Sirkin on the left-hand side. Sirkin back to Elise, back to Powell. Could have been short for Patterson. Mbanya went to close him down quickly, but Patterson reacted quickly and got the ball away. And now Enrique back to Højbjerg, who's played it back again into the centre circle to Balerdi in the 38th minute, live on BBC Radio Newcastle, and Marseille lead by a 27th minute goal from Faris Mumbanya, 12 yards out. Merlin plays it back to goalkeeper Ruben Blanco, the 29-year-old, in bright yellow, taps it out from the edge of his penalty area to Jeffrey Kondogbia, out to Merlin, back to the keeper. Bank of Sunderland fans, many of them in their red and white shirts, behind Blanco's goal, as the ball out down the right. Mighty back to the goalkeeper, closed down by Clark, swept out again to Mighty on this right hand side for Marseille, who are kicking towards the TL Dallas stand at the city end of Valley Parade. And here's Harriet with a bit of space now opened up as Neil chases back and wins the ball for Elise. And now Brown looking for Roberts on the right wing into the Marseille half. Sprinting through the middle is Brown. Roberts is trying to find him on the corner of the penalty area. Balerdi's gone with him, got in front of him, and he's holding Brown off, and the ball will roll over the goal line for a goal kick.
Good defending. But it's good play by Brown. You know, he's passed it, and then what's happened now is on the way, trying to get back in the box, trying to support. He's not just passed it and watched and stayed still.
He's pursued it. 6 minutes till half time. Marseille 1 up. Goalkeeper, the ball just clasped in his left hand as he strolls back. Ball down by his side, and he just throws it to Brassier, who takes a short pass to Blanco, who drives this right up the other end to Anthony Patterson, and scoops it up in front of O'Nien and Enrique. Luis Enrique, 1 goal last season in 15 league appearances, the Brazilian, only 22 years old. Here's Elise, plays the ball back to Patterson. Patterson out to O'Nien, back to Hume. A short pass to Patterson, but he was quick enough to get it away from Mbanya. Neil in the middle of the Sunderland half, up through to Mayenda on halfway, easily dispossessed by Kondogbia, and now here's Højbjerg out to Enrique on the left hand side. Enrique's bringing this to the edge of the penalty area, dribbling into the box. O'Nine's gone with him, tries to make the challenge and does, and gets it away to Roberts. Now Brown in the penalty area still, but coolly turns away from Harrett, leaves it for Hume, and then plays it up towards Mayenda, but Kondogbia gets in front of him. But Mayenda gets it back from Brown, then is pushed down by the Central African Republican, and the Marseille fans are
them 20 are making some noise, aren't they?
They're having a
Give
party.
them credit.
Having a party. There's a fair old mix in amongst them. There's one that looks like ZZ Top as the ball comes back to O'Nien. Plays it down the right. On the right wing, Roberts inside the Marseille half. Played again back to Elise in the centre circle. Job now with his back to goal, back to Sirkin on the left. Clark slips it inside to Dan Neil. Neil looks for the pass that will open up the penalty area down the right hand side for Roberts. Roberts trying to get it on his left. Low ball, swept across the face of goal and also across the face of Mayenda. Just needed to stick his foot out at the far post. Good ball from Neil though.
Excellent play, good build up.
It remains 1-0 to Marseille, but they exploited the space then, Sunderland. They did well. So the ball clasped to the chest of Blanco, the goalkeeper again, and given to Brassier, back to the keeper. Again, it just passes it out through the middle, looking for Mumbanya, wrestling with Elise, and eventually free kick to Marseille as Mumbanya is hauled to the floor. This in the centre circle. With,
strong, isn't he?
Yeah, 3 minutes till half time. Yeah, he's stocky, strong, athletic. 24-year-old Cameroonian international, Faris Mumbanya. Højbjerg is going to take the free kick eventually. Plays it back to Brassier in the Marseille half. Forward to the Dane again and out to the left to Enrique. Gets a return ball. Hume gives chase. It's played through to Mumbanya. A foot out from Patterson to put the ball away from Mumbanya, who I think thought he was through, but he's just shook his head in the air and realises that Patterson actually made a good save there.
Good play again by Marseille, wasn't it?
Well, suddenly very quick they just burst.
Yeah.
As Højbjerg plays it back to Brassier again. The loanee from Brest plays it back to Bellardi. He just lays it off to Brassier again. Forwards down the left wing to Luis Enrique, then inside to Højbjerg, and plays it across to Mighty here. Mighty to Amin Harit, and back to the goalkeeper. We're in the 44th minute with Marseille leading 1-0 here live on BBC Radio Newcastle. All gets underway again, of course, next weekend at Cardiff City.
Good, strong.
Mumbanya has held off Elise, but the play has been stopped. There's an injury to Merlin on the far side, just inside the Marseille half. And Roberto De Zerbi's on the pitch now, screaming some instructions across.
210 watching. Thank you everybody. Thanks everybody in the chat.
Merlin
don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new, and click that thumbs up so we can get 50 likes before half time.
Referee grabs the ball. There'll be a drop ball thrown back to Lilian Brassier. Back again to Ruben Blanco. Passes it to Leonardo Bellardi, and he plays it out wide on the left to Luis Enrique. Enrique inside to Merlin, back to Højbjerg, forwards again to Enrique. This is still inside the Marseille half, and Højbjerg, short pass to Kondogbia, back to Bellardi, and then a ball over the top looking for the run of Enrique, but out comes Patterson, catches that at the right side of his penalty area, rolls it to Elise. We're into the last minute. As has been the way of things in pre-season, the referees have tended to blow on the mark on 45. They don't seem to add any time on, and we're 10 seconds away from the 45 being played. Here's Elise Elise closed down by Murillo, plays it back to Patterson, who gets the ball out up towards the halfway line, but Kondogbia runs through. Joe trying to win it back, and he does, and indeed right on the stroke of the 45. The referee blows for half-time, with Marseille leading through that 27th minute goal from Faris Moumbagna. But I have to say, Sunderland have seen a lot of ball, and they haven't been overawed by the standard of football being played against them.
No, they've not been overawed. It's been a good footballing game, and you know, Marseille taking the lead all of a sudden. You know, they've got a little bit of a, shall we say, spring in the step, but saying that, they're all brave on the ball. You know, they like to have the ball in tight situations. They've got good movement of the ball. I said Moumbagna, who plays up front, he is the focal point. He's strong, he holds the ball up, he likes to get behind. But even though Sunderland have had a lot of the ball, I think what you've got to look at is how many opportunities or how many saves has the goalkeeper had. How many shots have we had on target?
Job's the only shot on target, isn't it? Roberts free kicked us over. Lovely ball across the face of goal from Roberts towards the end of the half. Maybe Bienda should have been reacted a bit more smartly to that. But you're right. I mean, what Patterson's seen more of the ball. Potentially Moumbagna almost got a second and a good save from Patterson.
Well, I tell you what,
but that's that quality. They're a French League One team.
Yeah, and that will be a concern. You know, yes, it's okay at times. We look good on the ball. Again, you look at the goal. Maybe we could have done better in regards of the ball's gone into Dan Neil, and all of a sudden it's been nicked off him, and then it's allowed Marseille to counter-attack. But it's a good test. But I would imagine the manager will be saying to the players in there, can we cause one or two more problems? Can we get one or two shots away? Can we work the goalkeeper?
They are well organised at the back. Balerdi, Brassier between them, the two centre-backs. They're running on second gear. They're not being stretched.
But again, you know, they're not worried taking it in tight situations. You know, they've got a, shall we say, they've got a pattern of play, Nick. You know, they know where the ball's going. They all react off the ball. You know, good movement, and I think Sunderland can learn from it. But going forward, I just think that we just need to be more of a threat. And what I mean by that is, can we get a lot more shots away? Can we get balls in tight? Can we work the goalkeeper?
It's half time then here at Valley Parade. It's the French that lead. That goal coming in the 27th minute. We've got the second half, of course, to come on BBC Radio Newcastle, and that's also available on BBC Sounds this afternoon because of rights issues and everything I won't go into. So make the most of it. That's to come. Half time here. It is Marseille 1, Sunderland 0.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
It's Colette's 30th birthday next week, but she's not.
My daughter is in a very silly mood. You silly monkey. Oh, how we do need some firepower up front, don't we? Hey? Time to everybody to get a cool drink and a cup of tea. We'll be back at half time. Sorry, second half. My summer's a cheeky monkey. Must have been something in the tap water today.
Ismail Kone, and we think possibly for Højbjerg. Kone, the former Watford midfielder, Canadian international, was being given instructions and shown charts and all sorts during the half-time break and warming up. So it looks as though he will be one of the changes, if there are changes to be made at half-time by Marseille, who we are still awaiting to emerge from the dressing room.
And it's interesting, you look at this game, pre-season games, and what's more important, is it the result or is it about the display?
I think display, don't you?
Yeah,
I think it's
definitely.
display, and I think they've done fine in the first half against, as we say, a top-flight French team.
Yeah,
packed with internationals.
You look at the quality what Marseille have got. No disrespect to Cardiff, they're not going to be on the same
no they're not,
as them,
but I think the other aspect of the game next weekend, it will be played at a higher pace, higher tempo, so that would be interesting. But I mean, certainly they've matched Marseille in a lot of departments this afternoon, but you can see that the quality is there from Marseille, and you also get a sense that if a team like Marseille were to step it up, it could be quite interesting.
Yeah, it can do. I think what we will be looking for is, can we create opportunities? Mayenda, can he get on the end of things? Roberts, Clark, Clark has been quiet this afternoon.
Well, I suggested he might come on for Højbjerg, Kone, but he's not, because Højbjerg is out there actually. But Ismail Kone is on the pitch to take part in the second half, and I'm wondering, is it Kondogbia who's not emerged for the second half? Jeffrey Kondogbia, it could be saying that. It's not. Kondogbia's over there.
It could be Harrit.
Lewis, it could actually 11. Be Mumbagna. You think it's Harrit? He's gone into a forward position. I've got we're underway for the second half. There's been no board from the fourth official. Ismail Kone is now playing up front.
Harrit, he's come on for number 11.
I think you're right. It is Harrit who he has replaced. Amin Harrit, because Mumbagna, the goal scorer, is still on the pitch as well. So Marseille, who lead 1-0, who are playing in a sea blue kit with sort of grey socks, defending the goal away to our right,
38 degrees,
which is the city end of Valley Parade. Sunderland
Ryan one
defending the goal to our left, in front of that tall two-tiered stand that sweeps around the pitch and where all the Sunderland fans are housed. There's the attendance, 2,912. And of that 2,912, as Roberts tries to cross inside the penalty area, wins a corner, there are at least 20 from Marseille.
Fans saying the same.
21.
Benno's been counting. Roberts to take this corner on the right-hand side. The first corner of the second half, the third corner of the game. And it's only Sunderland who've won corners so far in the match. In the second minute of the second half. Plenty of bodies in the box. Sirkin makes a run. The ball floats. Oh, the whistles blow. Oh. Referee'd seen something in the penalty area. Free kick to Olympique de Marseille. They're looking for a ball that's thrown on eventually. And Roberts helps it on its way back to Ruben Blanco, the goalkeeper. Back for Bamo Mighty, Leonardo Baleri, Lilian Brassier and Quentin Merlin. In midfield then Jeffrey Kondogbia, Pierre Højbjerg. A change in midfield because Ismail Kone is now on for Amin Harit. Also Luis Enrique and Amir Murillo, with Faris Mumbanya up front as Patterson in green swings his foot through it up to Brown. Alan Brown out to Patrick Roberts on the right hand side. Brown rides a couple of challenges but runs into Quentin Merlin, and the French left back brings this out, leaves it for Kone, who's trying to get away through the middle with Job on his shoulder, and now out to Murillo on the far side, plays it back to Kondogbia, back again to Balerdi, Højbjerg in the centre circle. They tap it about Olympique Marseille, and Balerdi finds Højbjerg. We're in trouble if they make a lot of changes, Benno, Marseille, because our team sheets haven't got any numbers on them for the French players. As the ball played out to Mighty, so we have to hope that De Zerbi is adopting the same attitude as Regis Lebris and keeping substitutions to a minimum. As the ball comes up here to Kone, who brings it back into his own half and taps it back to Balerdi. Across here to Brassier, down the line to Luis Enrique, who tries to go around Hume, who fouls him. Just grabbed hold of Enrique and forced him back. Free kick for the French on the left-hand side of midfield, just in front of Roberto De Zerbi, the Italian manager of Marseille, former Brighton manager. Balerdi to Kondogbia, back to Balerdi, who wears the yellow captain's armband. Through to Merlin, back to Balerdi again. Mayenda lurks, it's played on though to Mumbanya, who plays it back into his own half to Højbjerg. Mayenda again, sentinel in front of him, but it's played left for Balerdi, and then through to Merlin, who as a left back actually covers a lot of ground. He drifts from left to right through the middle, and eventually played right back up to Patterson. Brassier just drops in behind him, doesn't he, and covers Merlin's runs into midfield.
I think Højbjerg is key in this, because he drops in and makes the third centre back as well, allowing Merlin to go into that midfield role.
Very flexible. I think, as you'd expect, I think you touched on it before kick-off, the way that De Zerbi used to set up his Brighton team. As here they break with Kondogbia trying to find Mumbanya again, but a great tackle by O'Nien to clear. And now with Job in his own penalty area to bring this out, passes it out on this right hand side to Trey Hume. Hume down the line to Roberts. Roberts head down and taking it into the Marseille half, tapping it through. Mayenda's got on the end of this. Mayenda now, edge of the penalty area, just trying to find Roberts, who tried to find Mayenda again, but in the end Balerdi managed to hook it away for Marseille. 6th minute, Marseille still lead 1-0. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. We'll be back with you live next weekend in Wales. 12:30 kick-off. We'll be building up from 11:30 for the first league game of the season. Cardiff City against Sunderland. We've got Total Sport all week, of course. 2 hours. It's back on now, Mondays to Fridays, 6 till 8, as Roberts curls a ball in. What a lovely finish from Sirkin. Dennis Sirkin in the 6th minute of the second half, on the end of a perfect ball in from Roberts from 6 yards, equalises for Sunderland.
You've got to say it had goal written all over it, but what impresses me, Nick, is the amount of players we had in the box. We had options. You know, there was Sirkin in there, there was Jack Clark in there, there was Mayenda in there as well, and Job. Options. Excellent. But it's all about the quality of ball.
Yeah.
Great delivery by Roberts.
I mean, I think Marseille will be kicking themselves the way they defended that. But 1-1 it is. That coming 6 minutes into the second half. Dennis Sirkin getting up, heading it in.
And we touched on it at half-time, Nick, when we were discussing about Sunderland. What they were lacking was opportunities. You know, getting the ball in the box, working the goalkeeper. And that's what happens, you know, you get, all of a sudden we put a quality ball in and we end up scoring.
And as you said, this Marseille team, they will give you chances, they will give you opportunities at the back. Here's Roberts again now, dribbling down the right side from Brassier. He crosses and gets the ball into the 6-yard box where it's headed away and picked up eventually by Luis Enrique on this Marseille left, looking for Mumbanya, but great challenge from Luke O'Nien. Finds Neil, trying to get the ball out to Clark on the left, but Mighty heads it back to Blanco, the Marseille keeper. Great finish from Sirkin, very calm, collected header.
Sirkin, the goal scorer.
And puts the ball away to the left here, the keeper out to Enrique. Hume goes to close him down. Ball cut out by Brown, floated back into Mayenda from O'Nien, tries to kick it back over his head. Højbjerg is there, fouled by Eliza Mayenda.
Was it a good goal, folks?
And it's a free kick to Marseille. 8 minutes of the second half played. Marseille 1, Sunderland 1. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. It hasn't dimmed the enthusiasm of the Marseille fans, who, if anything, are getting more rumbustious and boisterous down at the bottom of the stand here.
They might be ejected from the stadium.
They're in too good a mood, I think. So they are all clapping now, singing, all dancing, singing and dancing. As Hume flies in, great tackle, good tackle. Right back through to the goalkeeper. The stewards come down now to have a word with one or two of them. I think it's a bit too boisterous for his liking.
Let them enjoy themselves, man.
Yeah. One would hope the language barrier prevents him getting his message across. They are doing no harm.
They're doing no harm.
No, they're not, are they? They're just having a good time. Here's Dan Neil in the middle. Easy for Job. Job to Alan Brown. Brown in the centre circle. Højbjerg goes to close him down out to the left. And Clark gets it down the line to Job, who's trying to slip it past Kondogbia. He's done well here, Job. He pulls the ball back in the area, and Brown's shot's blocked.
Excellent play.
Another corner for Sunderland. It was very good play by Job.
And again, Brown, he likes to get in the box.
Yep.
He's up and down, isn't he? Alan Brown.
Trying to get it on his right foot on the left angle of the 6-yard box, and the shot was blocked.
Interesting, you know, when he's playing against you, you don't realise he's a good player. What you've seen, we've seen of him.
I like him. He was well liked at Preston. Here's Clark to Dan Neil. Neil back to Clark, trying to weave in here now. Looking to get on the end of this is Brown. Clark picking himself back up quickly, and Roberts has driven that hard right round the back from the left for a goal kick to Marseille. Regis Lebris stands in the shadow cast down by this stand on the touchline with his arms folded. Ball played by Højbjerg out to Merlin on the left, down the line to Luis Enrique. One back by Hume, intercepted the pass. And Brown, just a momentary lapse of concentration, the ball swept out for a throw to Marseille. Brassier bringing this to the edge of his area. Menendez won it off him because Balerdi got caught napping. Kondogbia's got to rescue the situation, but Neil's won it back. Brown now leaving it for Roberts, trying to curl it in.
Oh, great save.
And a fingertip to it to put it round the post from Blanco.
Excellent.
Lovely shot
by Sunderland. Good effort by Roberts. But that's winning the ball high up.
That was a very, very good save. Fifth corner.
That was a good strike, was it? Yeah, the wife's at work.
And Clark's going to take it. From the left, hangs in the air, chase for Luke O'Nien.
So
he brings it down right side of the penalty area. He's closed down immediately by Bellardi and pushed over by him.
Cheeky monkeys, I have to deal with him.
And it's going to be a free kick to Sunderland. This halfway between the touchline and the edge of the penalty area. Roberts then will take this. Again, plenty of bodies in the penalty area. Brown and Mayenda on the penalty spot, surrounded by defenders. Luke O'Nien's in there as well. One man, Kone, stands as a wall. And Roberts tries to drive this towards the far corner. It's punched away by the goalkeeper. It'll come out to the edge of the penalty area. Jobe nods it down to Clark on the far side, on the left, and he whips it back in for Mayenda for Elise to try and slip the ball into Sirkin, who on his left just puts it round the foot of the post. Just got it, I think, on the outside of his boot, and it went the wrong side of the post.
You would expect him to do better than that. But again, good pressure by Sunderland.
1-1, Marseille 1, Sunderland 1. 13th minute of the second half. We're here on BBC Radio Newcastle. And BBC Sounds this afternoon. A rarity. Bellardi out to Mighty. The ball swept up to the halfway line. Played back by Sirkin to Patterson. Drives it past Faris Mumbanya out to Hume on this right hand side. A block though by Kone, and he will take this away to the left wing, and he's going to try and outrun Hume into the penalty area on his right. Oh, what a goal.
Good goal.
Ismail Kone on his right foot curls it round Patterson and restores Marseille's lead.
Yeah, it's an excellent finish, but again, you look where we've lost the ball. I think Trey Humes tried to be clever just on the halfway line, trying to, shall we say, put the ball through Kone's legs. He's won it, and then he's off. Strong, cut inside, great finish.
Yeah, lovely finish.
There's no quality there, not like.
Kone, the substitute at half time, the Canadian international, took it on down that left side, cut inside onto his right, and just curled it round Patterson.
Yeah, and Roberts is just having a word with Trey Hume. Especially against this quality, you can't afford to lose the ball there.
Marseille 2, Sunderland 1.
And I think it's a learning, you know, you look at this game and, you know, manager will take a lot out of it in regards of, you know, what could we have done better. You look at the 2 goals which we've conceded and they'll say, we give the ball away, we lost the ball.
It's fascinating in some ways when you look at a player like Kone, who they came up against last season in the Championship at Watford, and here he is now playing top flight football in France. There's, in some ways, the margins aren't great, are they? You know, for some of these players, you talk about their futures and where they might play. But now, Mighty, Bamo Mighty, trying to bring the ball out on the right in the sunshine for Marseille. Højbjerg behind him, lifting it over the top, looking for Mumbanya, and he's fouled by Elise. It's a free kick to Marseille.
Interesting, now the game's changed. You know, you look at the last 5 minutes, Sunderland were on top. They were struggling to get out. Then all of a sudden, you make a mistake, you get punished, and then all of a sudden they're starting to play with a lot more confidence now.
This free kick wide on the right, halfway inside the Sunderland half. Marseille's enthusiasm has remained undimmed, their supporters, and rightly so. They lead 2-1 now, and Sunderland have to defend this set piece. Half the penalty area, or almost half of it, is in shadow. Players all lined up on the 18-yard line. Merlin and Kone over the free kick, but it's going to be Merlin with his left who drives us towards the far post and over everybody's heads and behind for a goal kick. Is that Sirkin's limping behind the goal line? He's retying his left bootlace, Sirkin, and he's run back on. I think he's fine, actually. He seems to be running okay. He seems to be running quite freely. The ball's been played across to him by O'Nien from the right side of the penalty area. Here's Neil now, looking for Clark on the left touchline, back to Sirkin, who swings it down the line, looking for Mayenda. It'll come back though for Brassier, who plays it back, rolls it all the way back to Blanco, the goalkeeper. Job gives chase. Merlin under pressure from Roberts, who's won the ball. Job nearly got it from underneath the feet of Brassier, but he's got it out to Merlin. And a block in the end for a throw to Marseille. Just under half an hour to play. Marseille leading 2-1, but as you say, it's not the result, it's the performance that.
Yeah, you're looking at the display, because you look at the way Marseille play out from the back. Will Cardiff do that? I don't think they will.
There's Neil. Down is O'Nien at the moment. Brown swings across through the penalty area. It'll run to Murillo, who turned it back to Mighty, who got the ball out, but Sunderland have won it back again. Clark trying to jiggle his way past Mighty. Mighty's trying to get round him, but trips Clark, but there's a throw in the end of all that. No free kick. Sirkin gathers the ball. He'll take the throw 10 yards from the corner on the left hand side. Job on the left swings in the cross. Mayenda just underneath it. Brassier headed it away. Now trying to work it through Hume, but again surrounded by Marseille players, and they get the ball back to Brassier, and he will play it out to Merlin on the left here, and down the line to Enrique. Flicks it in past O'Nien into the middle, and the Brazilian now looking surely for an offside. Murillo, flag up. Free kick to Sunderland. The French season begins on August the 18th. They are away at Brest on that date. They then have a home game on the 20th of August against Ram. I know it's pronounced strangely. As O'Nien plays the ball over the head of Clark, out for a throw to Marseille. 19 minutes of the second half played. 2-1 Marseille lead. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. There's Murillo. Sirkin challenges him. He went down and gets up straight away. Murillo, no free kick. And battling away.
Where's the ball?
Eventually he fouls Sirkin. And there's a bit of pushing from Job on Amir Murillo. Ball played out wide to Roberts. Roberts dribbling at Merlin, corner of the penalty area, back to Hume. Hume through to Brown, who tries to tap it back to Hume, but Kondogbia managed to get the ball away. And now Brown trying to win it back, and does, and finds Dan Neil, leaves it for Job. Job skips the challenge of Murillo, who caught him, and it's a free kick to Sunderland. Again now the Bellardis that reacted to Job, ran out, pushed him in the chest. Job said a few words, and then raising his right leg as to say, look, Bellardi had a go at him. There's still words being exchanged, and Job lifts his right leg again. The referee some yards away from it at the moment, but he's going to have a word with Bellardi, saying cut it out. The players grouped at the edge of the penalty area. Clark and Roberts over the free kick. Referee marching back 10 yards, 2 in the wall. Clark goes to join them, or certainly stand on the edge of the penalty area, the 18-yard line.
Good ball in.
Roberts will take this. Jinks it in with his... he's looking for Job. It's come down to him on the right. He's trying to put it on his left and roll it back here to O'Nien, who leaves it for Brown. Back to Neil, who places it in the box. Clark could have get on the end of it, and Mayenda throws himself at it. Or Elise does. Elise in the end. Mayenda's there, but it was Elise who followed up through, but the goalkeeper got the ball first. Marseille still lead 2-1. We're halfway through the second half, 3/4 of the way through the game. No sign of a change from either manager at the moment, head coach.
Yeah, they're going to make a change, aren't they?
In fact, I think they might. Mundle and Rigg have both had a warm-up.
Mundle and Rigg. Mundle's coming on, I think.
And Mighty trying to get the ball on run. Kondogbia trying to get the ball forward. Up to Mayenda, though, for Sunderland. He's in the middle on his own at the moment. Leaves it behind him for Clark. Through the middle, through the centre, over to the left. Looking for Sirkin, but finding Mighty. Mayenda goes to close Mighty down, but Mighty gets away and gives the ball to Job. Job rolls it down the left again to Clark, down the left edge of the penalty area, dribbles into the box and shoots. Comes off the outside of the right post. Clark can't quite believe it.
Excellent effort.
Very good effort.
Unlucky there. Being similar to the Kone goal, wasn't it?
Yes.
He's cut in onto his right foot, great strike. Goalkeeper beaten there.
Yeah, we'll definitely get Rigg.
And somehow he's hit the post.
Absolutely.
Scorched across the face of goal and off the post. So 2-1 still to the French side. A change is imminent. The fourth official has the slips of paper in his hand as Enrique fouled by Elise. A free kick to Marseille, left side of central midfield, halfway inside the Sunderland half, in the half of the pitch almost, which is now covered in shadow.
Alan
Quickly
Taylor,
taken. Mighty forwards to Kone, backing into Dan Neil. Mundle is definitely coming on. He's stripped
should have been in place long
ready
before the season starts.
Well done, good pressure.
And the ball goes out for a throw to Sunderland on the right. Hume takes it to Brown, comes back to Hume, back down to O'Nien. While trying to get it back to the goalkeeper Patterson. It almost ricocheted off Mumbanya and favourably in terms of the Marseille forward, but in the end it got back to Patterson. Riggs coming on as well. So a double switch imminent for Sunderland. Here's O'Nien inside to Dan Neil, a foot in from Mumbanya, comes back eventually to Merlin to Kondogbia, Merlin again, and Marseille are looking at a change. I hesitate because I'm worried it's going to be one of the players we haven't a clue who he is. And if we don't know, nor will the stadium announcer. I'll be commandeering you to ask the as Enrique bursts into the penalty area and plays the ball across 6-yard blocks, blocked by O'Nien for their first corner. Marseille. I'll be commandeering you to ask the analysts of Marseille as to who has come on.
I'll use my French.
Yes, it'll be interesting. Mundle and Rigg still waiting to come on. Corner then for Marseille on the left-hand side. Merlin will take this, and Marseille have got their centre halves up. Kondogbia is up there as well, but three outside the penalty area as Merlin whips it in towards the far post, headed away by Elise, hooked out by Clark, and it will roll to Mighty, who gets it out to Merlin, who's trying to get this inside now, crashes it into Brown. It'll roll out to the left again, Kondogbia, and now Kondogbia gets it back, played down the left to Luis Enrique, and he flicks it inside and tries to get the ball back, but Hume intercepts. He concedes another corner. Marseille's
number 49.
Second corner, 49. Who's 49? Yes, I have no idea. The corner's taken short. Kone is tipped over by Patterson.
Good save.
Cracking effort from Kone. Another corner. Third corner, this time from the right-hand side. You're doing well here, Benno. You're very good at getting some help here, Fred. You're very. Ball has gone behind again for another corner, from that corner. There we go. We've got Enzo Sternal. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, merci. Oh, and 48 as well. I'm getting waylaid here. Very helpful, this. There we go. There's a corner taken from the left, headed goalwards and out and behind. And the other is Kalian Abdullah. Thank you very much. A double switch coming from...
See, good job I stuck in at school for my French.
Well, it was very helpful. It was very good, yes. Very useful. Sign language has been more effective.
No. My French was, who's that?
You just flung a piece of paper at him and a pen and pointed at the... Who is it? Who is it? The universal language. As Brown's coming off, Rigg takes his place.
And Clark.
And Clark. So the double switch made by Sunderland, who are about to get the...
we can't do that, Stephen. We just haven't got the firepower up front.
So Rigg and Mundle on. Sternal and Abdullah not on yet.
You know what's going to happen, don't you?
No.
They're not going to come on.
Well, we're prepared if they do. That's the main thing. It's a goal kick which has been taken by O'Nien, short to Patterson. And he drives this away down the left, looking for Sirkin, who takes it in his midriff, and in the end it's won by Mighty off him out on the right wing. Played back to Bellardi, back again to Brassier, who taps it the low knee to Bellardi. And if Marseille follow the pattern they have over the last couple of seasons, Lilian Brassier, who's on loan from Brest, will probably sign for them permanently at the end of this season. They all seem to have a season-long loan and then sign.
Once again, can anybody tell me what Joe Bellingham's done today?
One such example. Here's Brassier, who gives the ball away to Roberts. Roberts now holds off Brassier, but Højbjerg wins the ball off him and just flicks it to Enrique. Inside then to Kondogbia, out to Merlin, and Merlin plays it back to the edge of his area, and it's out to Højbjerg, and then to Mighty on the far side, back to Bellardi, and Bellardi to Mighty. Mundle tries to run him down. Mundle, who also has his right wrist heavily strapped. Here's Enrique flicking the ball away on the left. There's a battle between Mumbanya and O'Nien. The ball just driven on down the left.
That's what the Breeze trying to get them to do.
We'll just straight back to Elise and Patterson.
The
two Marseille substitutes still waiting to come on, and we have got just over a quarter of an hour left to play. Marseille 2, Sunderland 1. Patterson gets the ball back again outside his area to Hume, and Hume strolling out with it at the moment, foot on the ball. Mumbanya goes to close him down, plays it to Patterson, and Patterson in midfield plays it to the right hand side. Roberts heads it in, looking for Rigg, comes down though for Merlin, who plays it back into the middle, nodded down by Højbjerg, back to Bellardi, and they play it between them, and then it's played to Brassier, out to midfield. Kondogbia left, Enrique plays it back inside, up to the halfway line. Mumbanya, Neil tries to cut across him, and it forces Mumbanya to play the ball out. And I think we're going to get the change now. So both young, both very young. Yeah, born in 2007, the two that are coming on. So they're only, what, 17? Two 17-year-olds coming on. Interesting. Who went off then? He dived into the dugout before I could see who it was. I think Mighty's going off. That's one of them, anyway.
No, Mighty's... no.
Isn't that Mighty coming off here, look? For Abdullah. Yeah, Mighty's come off. And I think Murillo is the other. I'll double check that in a minute, because that might be Murillo over there. So no, Murillo's still on. So two 17-year-olds on. With 14 minutes left. The right back Mighty's been replaced, and Murillo's actually dropped back to right back.
Moronga has come off the striker.
Was it?
Yeah.
So Mumbanya. So I think
Coney's gone up there.
Coney's gone up front, hasn't he? I'm just trying to look into what they've jigged around here.
I'll see Marseille's edge.
It's a free kick to Sunderland. I think Rusin's going to come on as the ball flicked away by Murillo on the right wing. Trying to get away is Abdullah, and he's gone well. He's gone through Sirkin. Abdullah to the edge of the penalty area, crosses. O'Nien hooks it away with the heel of his right boot, and it will drop again for Kylian Abdullah, and he plays it back to Murillo, and back again to Balerdi. Marseille leading 2-1. 13 minutes remain. The ball in the centre circle with Balerdi and Kondogbia. All passed into the path of well, eventually Sternal, and he gets the ball out on the right wing. The two 17-year-olds linking up, and Abdullah drives a left foot shot straight at Patterson. Patterson just paused for a moment, drops the ball at his feet, and is just pushing it out into midfield. Sirkin, the ball bounced in front of him and has gone out for a throw. It could be three potential substitutions for Sunderland here.
Adil's coming on as well.
Yeah, Ashish, Rusin, two of them, and Pembele. Roberts coming off. Or is it Barr? Sorry, it's Barr. Barr on for Roberts. Job is coming off for Ashish. And obviously Mayenda is coming off for Rusin. For these final 10 minutes or so, 11 minutes maybe. So Barr, Ashish and Rusin now on for Roberts, Job and Mayenda. Here's Højbjerg for Marseille, who lead 2-1. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle with just over 10 minutes to play, and the ball has come back to Anthony Patterson. Grabs it on the left side of his 6-yard box. I'm hoping next week the team sheets are a bit more accurate.
Championship teams,
Cardiff, French,
just find it
a
there.
bit better.
They'll probably put them in Welsh.
Just click on that Our Game on there.
As the ball rolled to Elise.
Pushing on Mayenda off.
In the centre circle, Højbjerg pushes it on straight to Dan Neil.
Thanks,
and
Alan.
Neil now
cheers, mate.
out to the left-hand side to Mundle. Back to Sirkin. Sirkin plays it back to Patterson.
What you get for a certain satellite TV company being far too expensive.
He passes it out to Luke O'Nien on the right-hand side. Through Hume to Rigg, who does well in the challenge on Højbjerg, no foul, and will lift the ball over the top, looking for the run of Rusin, and he's managed to knock it out of the goalkeeper's hands, but he's won a penalty. The goalkeeper penalised for effectively, I think, pulling Rusin down as he tried to get on the ball when the goalkeeper had lost it in the challenge from Rusin.
To be fair, it was already organised before kick-off that we would get a penalty. A charity game.
Really? Well, interesting little scenario there, because the ball was there to be won by Rusin.
Rusin's done well.
Fumbled
the
it.
Goalkeeper never got to it, did he?
No. So he got as close to it as he could, but he couldn't grab hold of the ball.
I think Yelder's coming on.
Yeah,
no, you keep
right
saying
there.
how crap he is. You might get a hat-trick today before in the last 9 minutes, SG.
He's decided to
just in a
make a few changes now, isn't he?
Yelder.
Yeah, Yelder's
is it
going to come on.
Yelder?
Yeah, Yelder. It's going to come on.
He must be coming for Dennis, will he? I think.
Might come on for Elise. Anyway, in the meantime, Ashish is going to take the penalty kick.
Ashish?
He scored at Cardiff from the penalty spot.
Ashish.
So here he is to take this penalty to level the scores. Ashish doesn't quite step to the back of the area and buries it in the right corner.
It's in.
Took that with some aplomb, didn't he? Steady nerve.
Was he making a gesture to in that stand to the supporters? There's no supporters in there.
To the orange.
Great penalty, man.
Yes.
Great penalty.
2-2.
Oh,
less than 10 minutes left.
This,
An assured penalty from Adil.
Good finish.
Ashish.
Yeah. Struck it well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Dennis is coming off.
There's Dennis Serkin who's off. Kjelder comes on.
Oh well, lads, be happy with this today.
We're in the 83rd
Kick
minute.
went the wrong way. It was a lovely penalty.
He's waving to the supporters.
So Marseille 2, Sunderland 2, with 7 minutes or so left now, and Sunderland made 6 changes in this latter stages of the game. This is the moment we did dread, actually.
They're telling the goalkeeper to go down. They're telling the goalkeeper to go down.
They're going to change the keeper, aren't they? And
yeah,
it's the unpronounceable.
Telling him to go down.
It's Simon who's going to come on. Simon.
You didn't want him to come on, did you?
His surname has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 letters. You can throw them in the air. Here's Kone's drifting through here. And it's gone down.
No.
Way too easily. The referee's
he was
waved
looking for that one.
Away.
Got to say that he was looking for that one.
Højbjerg is trying to claim that was a penalty, as is Bellardi. They surround the referee, but he's not going to give it. Kone gets to his feet.
Like I said earlier,
now they are, as you say, telling Blanco to go down.
Who knows?
He doesn't want to go down.
No,
I don't think he wants to come off.
In fairness, I don't want him to go down.
Gary Hall now for the winner.
Much prefer him to stay out there.
He's coming off.
He is. Well, he makes some. Looks as though he's going to come off, and then he goes back. Patterson with a goal kick.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, the second keeper's jogged back down the touchline again, having a little warm up. The 6'1" Cameroonian.
Thank you so much.
Now with Enrique on the left-hand side.
Don't forget, hit the subscribe button and click the thumbs up if you're new.
Enzo Sternal.
Thank you very much.
Brassier behind him. They've called the goalkeeper back to the dugout.
Marseille, man, it's Bellardi, calm down.
Bellardi back to Blanco, gets the ball back again.
Here,
passes it out to Bellardi on the right-hand side, and back again to Ruben Blanco, who may yet survive the 90 minutes. We've got 5 left. O'Nien trying to pull this back here, but Højbjerg puts it behind for a 6th Sunderland corner.
Great work by Rusin. You know, just going back to that penalty there, he's worked hard there to get between the goalkeeper and the player.
Yeah, short corner, Mundell plays it back now to Ashish. Crosses. Oh, what a good save from Kjelder. Comes back in again and is deflected away for another corner.
Good save or bad miss?
Good question.
No,
good question. Either side, he probably scored.
You know, good balling. At least we've got there opportunities. Good header. Good save by the goalkeeper. Now he's gone down.
Now he is down.
And Simon's coming on.
Yes. Yes.
Engapindu.
I know it's only a friendly, but it's
how
nice
do you
Oh, we're 3 points for the
stick
friendly.
to Simon.
Who's been our best player?
Is waiting to come on.
It's hard
As
to tell,
Blanco
so much
receives some treatment.
The kids
Sheesh down on the right to take this
Circle's had
corner.
a solid performance.
I was actually hoping that they would put Pau Lopez on the bench, their other keeper, but they didn't. They put on old Japandian Yunbu.
Good thing is, Nick, he's only got 5 minutes.
Well, he's got less. I mean,
another subscriber now.
Tended to blow as Blanco's being led off the pitch behind the goal. Kabandembu.
Roberts hasn't been too bad.
Simon. That's from a Frenchman. Rest my case, my lord. Corner from Ashish. Headed or nearly onto the head of Mundle, but it's out here for a break, possibly to Abdallah. And he leaves it, puts it inside to Kone, who's tripped. Kone's looked impressive since he came on at half time.
Yeah, Newcastle United will be
wins his free kick though on halfway.
Anywhere this season should be in best control on the north.
It'll be taken by Murillo. It's just tapped to
always a drama, David.
Back again to Brassier, 2-2 as we enter the last few minutes of the 90. And here's Hume back to Patterson. Ball kicked high in the air up towards the halfway line. Brassier heads it on. It's tapped back towards Enrique, but breaks here for Barr on the right wing, and Barr taps it back to Hume, but intercepted by Sternal. Again, Sternal, another of those players with his left wrist quite heavily bandaged.
260 in the channel now. Thank you.
There's 3 or 4 players have similarly got their wrists bandaged this afternoon. Ball out for a throw to Sunderland on the far side on halfway.
2,379 subscribers now.
Hjelder's going to
thank you very much.
Take the throw, drops it to Ashish, back to Hjelder, back again to Elise. And Marseille fans have found their voices again as O'Nien tries to step away from Kone. He's still putting pressure on, and Patterson now kicks it clear. Ashish just flicks it through to Mundle, gets it back to Dan Neil. Neil to Ashish, and Ashish out to Mundle again, wide on the left, to the corner of the penalty area. Murillo stabs a foot at it, and it comes back to him, and he will bring this back towards the edge of the area and back to Simon. And he passes it out. It's passed out to Luis Enrique. And we're nearly up to the 90 minutes. 2-2. And here's Kone. And he plays it down this left-hand side to Merlin. Swings it to the edge of the area where it's cleared by Hjelder. Out to Chris Rigg. Across to Mundle on the left-hand side. And Mundle over the halfway line. Down the left. Plays it back inside to Dan Neil. And Neil just inside his own half.
Players have had,
leaves it for Chris Rigg in the centre circle. Back here on the right to Hume.
Gordon, you're welcome, mate.
O'Nien into the centre circle again to Dan Neil. Behind him is Elise. Forwards to Ashish.
At least
and it's run back by Marseille. Just trying to thread it through for Abdallah. Comes back to Patterson to clear, and that'll be it.
That's it.
2-2 it finishes. The result really academic, and they'll be pleased obviously to have held a French top flight side to a draw.
Yeah, I think overall
they played well.
Yeah, I think overall it was an even game. I think fair result. I think second half they've come out and they've asked 1 or 2 questions, Sunderland, which that's what we was asking for. They got the rewards, and I think it was a good workout overall.
I'm pleased as well.
You're welcome, Keith.
We saw a few more changes towards the end. We didn't see that at Blackpool, but we've seen it here this afternoon. Just to get,
it's been a fantastic turnout.
Nothing else, I guess a little bit of self-confidence for those players who didn't come out Tuesday night's game very well.
Yeah, and again, you know, you look overall.
I thank all you guys.
The likes of Mayenda, I thought he did okay tonight. Well, today, sorry, Mayenda.
You're welcome,
you know, and
Nat.
again, Roberts and Clark. wide. I think, you know, you look at the starting 11, I think that will be the starting 11 against Cardiff unless we bring players in. You know, players who came on, I think, yes, fresh legs. Bar, Ashish came on there, Mundal on the left-hand side, Chris Rigg in the middle, freshened things up. But what was pleasing was that we started to get bodies into the box. We started to cause 1 or 2 problems, and I think overall, I think that's the sort of workout what I think the manager was looking for.
Players all milling.
Right, thank you for Gary Bennett and Nick Barnes providing the commentary there. Thank you for everybody. Oh, another 2 subscribers, 2,382. Hey, thank you, as always. No, thank you everybody for tuning in. I'll be doing a review of the match, but I'll be doing it from the sitting room because it's so hot in here. You're welcome, Alan. Graham, good result. I thought they'd get beat today, so bonus, says Alan. David says, right then, friendly's over, and now the main business starts next week. Oh, and I'll see the Borough Nictor 1-0 win today as well. Oh, did they? SJ, better not. I'd crack down on the lot if it happens again. Anyone wearing face coverings or balaclavas need to be detained. Absolutely. Thanks, Alan Taylor. Thanks, Alan Ray. You're welcome. Geordie, good result and a stiffer test. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to head off because I'm roasting in here. I'll be doing a review of this match as well. Once again, thank you for your support. Thanks for all watching today. Go out there and enjoy the sun wherever you're out. Wherever you are, if it's out, should I say.